Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's market breakdown. What we are looking for, what we can expect, and how can we capitalize on the week. Kicking things off with the economic calendar, we have a fairly busy week. Today is end of day Monday, so we've already had some news events. Tomorrow we have Euro CPI, we have NFP, a big one on Friday. So overall, we have quite a heavy week. So bear that in mind when we go into the charts. So kicking things off with the DXY, what are we looking for this week? As things stand, we are still in this downtrend, creating highs, lows, lower highs, lower lows, and what looks to be potentially a lower high at this level here. If we go onto the daily time frame, you can see we are at this inflection point here, which is ultimately a third tap of this descending trend line from the top of this level here, tapping in again for the second time here, and then third time of where we are right now. On one of our higher time frame, daily time frame, we are at this daily 200 EMA. Ultimately, what I would like to see before taking any long positions on the DXY, I would like to either see a break above this level on the daily to fully confirm, or even a breakout of this trend line here, so something like this, coming back down into this average to go long. But if we were to be extra safe, we'll wait for this break of this level, and then going down to the 4-hour time frame. Of course, before looking for any sells, we would like to see a shift in structure, maybe something like this, breaking below the 4-hour 50 to then take it short. Just watching this inflection point here for now. Moving on to Euro. So Euro is currently breaking below this weekly 50 EMA, which is showing a lot of weakness to the downside. Ultimately, as this is still part of the weekly candlestick, we could see a rejection of this area. Going to the daily time frame, we did have quite a big bearish engulfing candlestick here, so we could potentially see some more downside movement tomorrow and the coming few days. Again, ultimately, if we were to take this short, any pullbacks into this average here at potentially this level to go short will be great. But as it is a very volatile week, and as we are currently facing some geopolitical news events and ultimately a war, it might not be the best time to play into FX at the moment. Yen still bearish as ever, kind of in this consolidating region here, kind of pinging the top, coming to the bottom, kind of like that. So what I would like to see is a definite break below this level, and then to get in on some retests, or if we have a pullback potentially into this level again with this EMA wrapping around, to take it more or less into the bottom of this range could be an option. But yeah, we are still in this downtrend from rejecting the daily 50, still kind of moving, expecting to take these lows in the next couple of days. It's a waiting game. We're going to sit on some hands this week and be patient. Let the market show us what it's doing before we want to take any positions. Pound. Now, this is a funny one. We've been in this range for quite some time. We've actually broken below it, and not only was it more than a wick out, we've actually body broken below it. We are bearish on the daily. Ultimately, we are also bearish on the 4-hour. So what we could expect is a drive into this 4-hour 50 at this level to take it short is the most probable outcome for the pound, unless we have a complete violation of this 4-hour 50. So no rejections, break above it, come back down, break above this level, and then potentially look to continue it up. But at the moment, bearish on the pound. Australian dollar is still in this massive move up on the daily, still having a huge move up, and then taking it to the 4-hour. Market opened way down here, obviously had a massive drive up and continued. We can expect potentially a further move up before having a retest, potentially with this 4-hour 50 meeting us to then take it short. So in the next day or so, we could see a higher drive and then wait for the retest of this area before taking it long. Canadian dollar, we had a drive into the weekly 50 EMA. We did reject it. We are kind of sitting in between some moving averages at the moment. So we've got the daily 200 and the daily 50. We are still consolidating. This is it's a very choppy market. It's not the best to be looking at the moment. Like if you were to look at it on this time frame, it does look bullish. We've broken highs. So we've broken structure points like this. We've broken above this level here. But ultimately, if you look at it on the daily, if we're looking at significant highs and lows, we could have a significant high here, significant low. This could be a significant lower high. And then, I don't know, we're kind of in chop at the moment. I think we're going to leave the Canadian dollar alone for now. But if you want to base it just off of this time frame, any pullbacks into this area to take it long would be your best bet. Be it a drive into that same area would be a drive into this daily 50 to take it long. So into this area to take it long. Swisso franco still kind of consolidating. We had a big dump today. Yeah, it is a very choppy market, this one. Not particularly fond of the Swiss franc right now. Ultimately, we are in an uptrend. A very slow and choppy one, be it that. So until we get some sort of proper directional movement, so like a proper trend in place, yeah, this wouldn't be my favorite currency of choosing. And then lastly, we have the New Zealand dollar. So it looks like we are creating a bear flag of some sort. So something like that. If we were to look to take this long, a break out of this this descending trend line, potentially retesting with this 4-hour 50 coming back to take it long would be the ideal move there. Because if we do look at it on the daily, yeah, we are kind of slowly moving down into this daily 50 EMA. We've had the crossover here of the daily 50 and the daily 200. So potentially another drive down into this daily 50 and then a break up and out of this bear flag before we look to take it long. Yeah, and again, sitting on top of the weekly 50 EMA here, just kind of confirming, not so much confirming, but we're using the weekly 50 as support. We could see some upwards movement in the next days or so. Nothing too crazy at the moment, nothing that I'm looking at and thinking, right, let's pair them together and look to take a trade on FX. Oil had a ridiculous gap on the open, like an absolutely ridiculous gap on the open. It was a bit underwhelming, to be fair, because the Strait of Hormuz in just below Iran, just on top of the UAE, that's blocked off. So 20% of the world's oil is not being let out into distribution. So I thought we'd gap. To be fair, the gap is quite wide, so we gapped up here to 75 from a close of 67, but we sold off. We didn't have a continuation to the upside, we just sold off, so a bit underwhelming. Gold is having a rally, but silver is where our money is right now. So to break this trade down, do we get rid of everything or do we just carry on? All right, let's do it like this. Let's get rid of all our extensions, just to keep things simple. Just leave the position on there. So our confluences for taking silver longs was Fibonacci from the swing low to this swing high. We had a rejection of the 38.2% on the fib, also coming into the 4-hour 50 EMA just here, so area of interest, and also this level here of support, which was support as well over here, and then having a great 4-hour rejection and a 4-hour close was our entry. We are protecting these lows here, so I do not think we're going to come down and sweep these lows. If we do, then ultimately my trade idea is invalidated, so our stops are in a place of invalidation. On the 8-hour, we could, if we do come down in here, we could potentially wick off of the 8-hour 50. I believe we have the 12-hour 50 somewhere down below, although it is quite close to our stop loss, but again, I don't think we are going to get that low. And then if we work off of the 21 moving average, so the 21 moving average moves quite close to the trend. So if we bring up the 21 moving average, you can see the 12-hour 21 is being rejected at this area of interest as well, as is the 8-hour 21 as well. Kind of an additional confluence, if you will. And then this level here of resistance, we are now using it as support, and it's great to see the daily close just above that level, potentially for tomorrow, hopefully having a continuation to the upside. Not only did we have the big fib, so from this swing low to this swing high, but we also had a fib inner fib, a mini fib from this level here to this high there, and ultimately rejected the 78.6% on the fib. So we kind of wicked out of it, but wicked back in, just rejecting that area as well. And then adding in some more confluences to this trade, go into the gold against silver chart. So we've got this area here, using it as resistance where we've used it before as support, some sort of resistance, and then if we slide across really quickly, you can see this same highlighted area has been used as support, somewhat of support and resistance, support, wicked into it as resistance, used it as support, used it as resistance. This level is respected. So area of interest, horizontal grey box, daily 50 wickage, 8 hour 50, we have closed below it. So potentially we could see some continuation to the downside from this area, showing more silver strength above gold. If we do, then that would be great for our position. And then lastly, let's not forget our beautiful Bitcoin. We are at this area now. If we can reject this blue horizontal level, so which is ultimately resistance there, using it as support right now, if we can reject this area and close above the weekly 200, would be great. Obviously we are quite early into the week, so we have a ways to go. But on the monthly, starting the month, ultimately rejecting the monthly 50 EMA, which is quite nice to look at, to be honest. But yeah, it would be great to see some sort of bullish structure starting to form, like some highs, lows, and then some sort of continuation to the upside. Maybe we could look for some BTC longs. But yeah guys, thank you for watching this weekly outlook. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I drop one of these videos every single week. Any questions, drop them down below, and I'll see you in the next one.